Welcome all of you in today's EVS session. Children, today we are going to see lesson number 7, Food and Nutrition. The name of this chapter is Food and Nutrition. Some of the food items in our everyday meals are given like rice, moong dal, amti, chaudi, usal, chapatis, jowar bhakri, cabbage bhaji, pumpkin, raita, carrot, salad, onion pakoras, garlic chutney, lemon, pickle, yogurt, papad. Now, can you divide these items in those which are eaten in large quantities and those which are eaten in small quantities? You can think over it and write your answers. So now we are going to see staple food. Chapati, bhakri or rice form a part of everyday meal we have. We eat more of these foods than of the others. Therefore, wheat, jowar, rice are said to be our staple foods. However, with chapatis, bhakris or rice, we eat several other items which make our meals tastier. Besides, for reason of good health, it is important to include these food items in our meals. Variety in foodstuffs. Some of these foodstuffs and their names are shown in the box. So let's read out the words. Chiku, chili, jowar, radish, eggs, cloves, groundnuts, sesame, bajra, safflower, bitter gourd, milk, raw mango, black pepper, cucumber, tamarind, lemon, chicken. These are variety in foodstuffs. We have seen what a wide variety there is in our foodstuffs. We use different foodstuffs for different purposes. We use milk to get butter. We get flours from jowar, bajra to make bhakris. To add a sour taste, we make use lemons or tamarind or raw mangoes. When making sweets, we may use either sugar or jaggery, which we get from sugarcane. Just as there is variety in foodstuffs we use, there are differences in people's like dishes and likes and dislikes. We tend to eat the items we like again and again. We also tend to always avoid what we don't like. However, the important thing is to ensure that the food related needs of our body are all being met. The food constituents that meet the different needs of our body are present in all foodstuffs in varying quantities. Some of these constituents give our body the energy it needs. We work or play all day long. Also, work like respiration and digestion of food goes on inside our body. The body needs energy for all this work. Some food constituents help to nourish our body. They help to create a store of substances that give energy to our body. Some constituents help our body to grow. They also help to repair the wear and tear of our body that takes place in everyday life. Some food constituents are necessary for certain special reasons. For example, some constituents make our bones strong. Some constituents give the body the ability to fight disease. And for all the functions of our body to go on smoothly, we need to drink plenty of water. If our body is to work properly, it must remain healthy. So, we must include all the food constituents in our diet. We get all these food constituents from different foodstuffs in different quantities. That is why we keep using different foodstuffs in our daily meals. Such a diet ensures proper nourishment for our body. Children, do you know? Some people believe that costly foods are most nourishing than inexpensive food. But that is not always true. All expensive foods are not nourishing. Similarly, all cheaper foods are not less nourishing. Now we are going to see preserving the nourishment in food ingredients. While preparing food items, some of the constituents in the foodstuffs can get destroyed. We can take the following precautions to avoid that. When cooking food, add only as much water as is necessary. Use a pressure cooker or cover the food with a lid while cooking it. Sprouts, pulses, Sprout pulses before using them. Use them while the sprouts are still small. Do not wait for them to grow long. Use whole grain flour without sifting. Eat fruits like chicus, figs, grapes, apples along with the skins. Besides, vegetables like carrots, radishes, cucumbers, beetroot should be eaten raw in the form of salads. Whenever possible, mix 2 or 3 foodstuffs in a dish. For example, add onions and potatoes to usars. Add drumsticks to curries. Add some soaked dals while cooking vegetables. Now we are going to see a tongue for testing. As usual, we had all gathered in the garden in the evening. Monica Tai said, "Shall I tell you something funny about our tongue?" As we drew closer to her, she said, "How do we make water sweet without sugar? Just try this. Chew an amla well and drink water right after that. The water tastes sweet." "Really? I never knew this," said Mary. Then Balu said, "We learnt last year that our tongue helps us to taste things. But how does only one tongue help tell us all different tastes?" Subhash piped up. "So, do you want a different tongue for every test?" That made everyone laugh. Monica Tai said, "Balu, we have only 2 eyes, and how many colors do we see with them? So, one tongue can tell so many tests." Now, children, here's one experiment for you. Wash your mouth, clean your tongue, and stand in front of mirror. Stick your tongue out and look it carefully. You will see tiny peaks on the tongue. They are all called taste buds. These taste buds tell us different taste. Know the different taste. Like sugar candy or jaggery, they are sweet in taste. Salt, it's salty in taste. Tamarind or lemon, it is sour in taste. Fenugreek seeds are bitter in taste. A piece of an amla is sour in taste. So, these taste buds helps us to know the taste of different ingredients or different items. So children, in this chapter we have learnt our diet includes many different food items. There is great variety in foodstuffs we use to prepare different dishes. The food constituents that meet our food related needs are present in these foodstuffs in different proportions. Our food related needs are met if our body gets all these food constituents in right quantities. Our taste buds help us to know the different taste. Always remember that our diet should include all kinds of foodstuffs. So children, we have completed chapter 7. Now you will read this chapter 3 times, and after reading the chapter you will complete your workbook from page number 45 to 53 in neat and clean handwriting. Thank you. Bye.